Hello, lovely people of the internet. Oh, look, you're back for what episode are we on now? Episode 5 of Learning to be Blind. And this week I'm actually taking a break week, or I've had actually a couple of break weeks from assessments at Bartimeus. And the reason for that is because the whole process of the assessments and the rehabilitation is going to be spread out over a long period of time, so it's actually quite normal that I get break weeks in between. It's not necessary to have an appointment every single week, and also because of the summer vacation as well, people who work there are having their summer holiday, so it's not always possible to get an appointment once a week. But that's okay, because break weeks are really useful, and it means that I can do other stuff for you guys, like make awesome keyboard covers and other types of YouTube videos, which may or may not be online by now. I don't know. I don't know which order they're scheduled to be online in, but we will see. It's exciting, and you're getting a lot of new stuff, which is really good. A couple of weeks ago, I had a cooking assessment, or a mealtime preparation, I think is how you translate it in English. Anyway, I had an assessment which was basically a cooking assessment, and we didn't actually do a lot of cooking. It was just a lot of questions, and the lady who was doing the assessment learned more about me than I learned about cooking, to be quite fair. She was quite interested in what I can do already and what I can't do and what I want to do, and we were sort of trying to figure out how we're going to do it. For example, standing and cutting vegetables takes me a longer time than a normal person anyway, because my head and my hands move at a slower rate than a normal person, and then standing for that amount of time is actually quite painful, so it's not something I can do. So we were looking up solutions, or trying to figure out solutions for that, and we have a bar downstairs in the kitchen, like a breakfast bar with stools. Actually, it's one of the stools that we use in the music room when I sit at the keyboard is actually a breakfast bar stool. So yeah, that was an option for me to sit at the breakfast bar to slice the vegetables, and we're looking for other ways and means of doing things so that I don't have to stand in one position for too long, because that causes pain. I can't do that. So that was the last assessment that I had before the vacation period, or however you want to call it. I need to have one more assessment, I think. I need to have a Braille assessment to see whether or not it's possible for me to learn Braille, and that's going to happen probably by the time this video is online. That's already happened, but it's due to happen soon, so watch this space, because there'll be another video up about the Braille, and I will try to bring some Braille home and show you guys what I learned during the assessment, but we'll see how that works. And yeah, they also are trying to find a solution for me to be able to go outside, not necessarily independently. Independently would be an option, but or should I say, it would be very nice, but I don't know whether it's an option. But maybe they can find somebody other than Jessica that can help me do that, or I don't know. It's something else that they're looking into for me, because being able to go outside without having to rely on Jessica all the time would be really cool. So that's another thing that they're looking into, and when we're done with those, we will have a meeting to see how they're gonna make the rehabilitation plan. So I'm getting towards the end of the assessment phase, which is really exciting, because the next phase of course is then the rehab, and then I start learning more stuff, and then there'll be more stuff that I can show you guys. But yeah, in the meantime, while I haven't been going there, like I said, I've been recording some YouTube videos for you guys, and I've been working with my computer to play further with JAWS and Supernova and all of the programs that I tested in previous episodes of this series. And I've basically come to the conclusion, with help from Jessica and her mom, and just by testing out the programs themselves, that magnification on its own, which is what we were aiming for during the assessments, isn't going to work, because, well, for one, you've seen how much it is a struggle to edit videos with magnification alone. And for 2, I've realised that I can still only look at the screen for about an hour before I start getting massive headaches, and they can be headaches that last for 2 or 3 days, which is not very nice. And the idea is that I'm supposed to be able to use the computer for a longer time period, as well as being able to use it more efficiently. So magnification on its own doesn't work, which means I'm going to have to learn to use the computer with speech, so with a screen reader. But like you saw in the last episode, none of the third-party programmers that I use on my computer work with JAWS. But I do know from the last assessment that I had at Bartimeus, where I looked at the Mac, I do know that iMovie is accessible with VoiceOver. So the decision has been made by me and my family that I'm going to be getting a Mac, and I'm going to hopefully be doing computer training with a Mac, learning basics and advanced things so that I can navigate a Mac really super easily. And I'm kind of, I don't know how to say how I feel about that. It's kind of scary because it's a brand new system that I haven't used a Mac in a very long time, more than 10 years ago since I used a Mac, and so now the system has changed a lot, so it's a brand new system for me to learn. I realised in the assessment that it was more logical, so I think I'll be able to learn it, but it's change, and I don't deal with change very well, so it's something new that I'm going to have to get used to, and I have to keep reminding myself that, yeah, it's going to be slow and inefficient to begin with while I'm learning, but that I'll get better as I go on. And yeah, so I'm kind of apprehensive because it's going to be a new system that I'm going to learn. I'm kind of also slightly annoyed because Macs are not cheap, but it's something that's necessary. Everybody in this day and age needs a computer, and I also need a computer, and I can't just go and walk to the local library to do the stuff that I need to do on a computer, so I need to invest in a Mac. And yeah, that's annoying because it's expensive. And the third thing is, I'm as confused as hell because I don't know how to set a Mac up. I've learnt the basics of navigating it because I did that in the assessment, but I haven't had a brand new one in my hands like ever. So I'm also confused about how I'm going to set that up. But they're all big challenges that I'm going to have to face and I'm going to have to go through, and I'm going to get there in the end. So if you guys, sighted or blind, it doesn't matter if you're watching this and you're sighted or blind, if you use a Mac and you have tips and tricks on what kind of settings I need to turn on or turn off or change or whatever for setting up the Mac, leave them in the comments down below. If you're a VoiceOver user, leave the key shortcuts that I also need to learn or need to know, because I only know the basic navigation things. And yeah, maybe you guys can help me with that. That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, that's kind of just a little update video, really, just to let you know what's going on and to let you know that there are more videos coming. So I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching. Until the next time, be good, and if you can't be good, have fun.